So before anything, I start with a primer, and today's primer is the GERARD Cosmetics Clean Canvas Eye Base in Fair. I like to put that on my eye like so. Focus most of it in the center of my lid and move upwards. Blend it out by patting it. Sometimes I do use my finger as well. Okay, my hair just wants to get in the way. This is why people use clips. And there's a hair in my brush. Okay, let me not get that in the way. Sheesh. Okay, so much to think about. So before we even start anything, if you have asymmetrical eyes, what I want you to do is look at yourself in the mirror and see exactly where the asymmetry comes in. I want you to look at what it is that is asymmetrical and focus on that. If I were to look at myself, and right now you don't notice it, but I do have a little extra bit of folding skin here that I don't have on this side. Now, that skin can either fold in or fold out, and this is just what I've noticed from how long I've done my makeup. Right now, it looks to be folded out. So my eyelid space is gonna look a little bit more symmetrical right now. But if I were to just kind of like maneuver that, see, then it kind of like completely disappears. And that just happens randomly throughout the day. I can't control that. So to deal with that, my cut crease needs to go above this line. We're gonna start with the color Let It Rain. I start off with putting the pigment here. This is a very dark color actually, so we're not going to put it too far above where that fold starts or ends. With your eye relaxed, see where that color is going. So I want it a little bit farther than that crease line right there. I want it a little farther above that. Slowly but surely above that line. That way when you're blending, you'll still see that color. It won't get lost in your fold or your hood. I do want to bring this color over here. Go just a little bit above that fold. Go just a little bit above it. You don't want it too far because you want room to blend that color out. A lot of the mistakes I would make is that I would bring that dark color way too far up and then I'd have no room to blend it. So it would just kind of like get all over the place. So just be conscientious of where you're putting these really dark colors because it can make a big difference. There. So I don't want to bring it all the way in. I don't want to make that area too dark. I actually want to brighten it up with an inner corner highlight, so we'll keep it like that. And so when you start blending, that color will start to go in there anyway. So that's as far as I'm going to take it. From there, we're going to go ahead and use the color, if it'll focus, hello. There we go. We're going to use the color Amanita. Hope I'm saying that right. Amanita. And we're going to use that color. You just want to be very controlled with the dark colors because it's very easy to get heavy-handed and lost in them. So just take a pencil brush. I'm sorry, this is a Morphe M413, and I'm kind of taking the pigment on the side. I'm kind of taking the pigment on the side of the brush. So just like that, it's on one of the sides. And then just patting it right on top over here. We're gonna pat, not swipe. That's the easiest way to get the pigment that you're looking for. So just pat following that black line you made, and you'll see that that black line will actually already start to blend in with that wine color. Keep it close to that black color. You can start blending out the edges a little bit so that when you go in with a transition, it'll be a little bit easier. So just kind of go in there, give it a little tiny circle motion. From here, I actually think I'm gonna go with Rainier. And we're gonna go right on top of that wine color. And for this, I'm going to use a small blending brush. It's the Morphe M562. It's like a really small blending brush. I'm just gonna dip that in there and just start going right over it. Very light-handed, very light-handed. So just, sorry, it's my mirror. Just go light-handed right over that line. Not above it, but right over it. And it'll start to blend out that line even more. And you can even start going in here a little bit more, but again, very light-handed. You really want to control your placement when you have small eyes with not that much real estate. This, and especially hooded asymmetrical eyes. And then start going out just a little bit more to give that color more of a life of its own. And from here, I'm gonna say stop. And we're gonna start working on those dark colors again. Because it's very often that it happens where when you start blending, the dark colors start to lose their pigment. So you just wanna go back. This is Amanita again. And we'll pack on some more again. Kind of give it some circular blending motion. At this point, I kind of alternate between your regular swiping circular motions and patting, because patting lays down that pigment and swiping it kind of blends it a little bit. Obviously, not kind of, it does blend it. We're going back into Let It Rain, and we're gonna pack more on there. Remember to control where you're putting it. And now we're going back in with Rainier, going right over that wine line, just right over it. And looking at this, I believe I made a bit of a mistake. The shape looks a little odd, which is fine, we're all human. But we'll go ahead and just blend that out here a little bit. Put some more black here, just to fix that shape. This is me just trying to fix it. This is if you just kind of screw up on the shape a little bit like I did, which happens. I'm not gonna freak out about it. But we're just gonna add some of the color here that's missing. There, I believe I fixed it up as much as I'm gonna get it. You're probably wondering, well, listen, now we have this whole situation here. Whoops. You could just clean off the M562 and use it. I have a clean one, so I'm just gonna use a clean one. And you can, the next color we're gonna use is Old Growth. And we're gonna use that to diffuse. And now I don't like to go in, I don't like to go in with a lot. Just because it's mainly to diffuse and not necessarily for pigment. So we're just gonna go in light-handed and blend out those edges. You'll slowly start to see it blend away. And while you're doing this, you'll kind of want to assess what it is that is now needed. And it looks like that orange kind of disappeared, which is fine. What we'll do is we'll just add it back in. Going back to Rainy Air. And lightly bringing it back into that area. I'm noticing Amanita kind of disappeared, so I'm just going to tap it right back as closest to that black as I can see it. Just tapping it in there. No need to swipe because it's already pretty much blended. Just like that. This is probably the most important part, the cut crease. So you can do a cut crease two ways. You can use micellar water with a brush to carve it out, or you can just pat on some base right on top of it. Either way I've done it, either way it works. I get a sharp line regardless. I think the way I'm going to do it today, just to save time, is to tap on a base. This is the Morphe X Ariel A19 brush. It's just like a pillow. It's just like a concealer brush. I just take whatever's on the cap and I just dippity-doo-dah in there. What I do, what I should do, sometimes I don't, is look at my eye and just start stamping it on there. You want to do it with your eye open so that when you look at somebody, they see your cut crease. All your hard work, you want it to be seen. So an easy way of doing that is just to keep your eye open, and once you actually have like a shape down, that's when you can start pulling it down and not doing what I did and almost messing up the shape. You want to keep your eye as relaxed as possible. Trying to keep my eye centered. And we're gonna end it right about there. And patty 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 pat. Patty 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 pat. Quick tip, if you want your cut crease to be a little bit sharper, the pigment's kind of showing through a little bit, get up nice and close in there with whatever you're using to cut your crease and cover up that pigment. It'll look nice and sharp. So there you go. And now when you look straight at somebody, you should see that nice crisp line. From here, I'm going to take some more of Let It Rain. And I'm just going to tap it right on top here. Place some more Amanita on the lid. And for that, we're going to use a shader brush. This is the Morphe M124. I think it's Natural Bristles. Might be wrong. Get Amanita on there and just, wow, that is a lot of pigment, holy crap. And just pack it on there. You see those little ridges from your folds, sorry. See those little ridges from your folds? Just go right on top of them. It's fine. We're gonna take West Coast and we're gonna put it on that whole blank side. Now, I like to go in with my finger with glitters, like, or this isn't a glitter, it's a shimmer. I like to go in with my finger, but when you want a clean cut crease like that, you'll want to go in with something more detailed. What I'm going to use is a Morphe M213, super small brush. I wish it would just focus. I don't want to keep putting, there we go. I don't want to keep putting my hand in front of it. Really get that line nice and clean. And then we can use our finger. Just kind of feather it out there. Now I'm going to take my finger with my large fingernail By the way, these are press-ons. I didn't put them on very well. My fingers were having a moment. Oh. Sorry if I'm out of focus. Still getting used to everything. And just tap it on the edge to like feather it out. Be careful with where you're placing it. Like I just put my finger on top of there, so now it's a little bit messy up there, but it's fine. No biggie, I'm not gonna stress over it. It's not like I'm going on the runway, you know? And then we'll go in here. And I think it's fine, but if you want this a little bit more blended out, you can always take that shader brush you used to place Amanita and just go right on top of it. Just like that. And you have a clean cut crease. Now, as far as this eye, this is my easy eye. So I can pretty much speed right through this eye. This is the eye I do my reels on. Oh, and I did do the under eye part off camera. Of course, I'll show you how to do it over here. But I'm pretty much going to do the same thing I did on the other eye. And just go right on top of that black line. I'm not going to round it out too much. Just to keep with that eye as well. So we're going to make my mistake not look like a mistake. Start blending out here. Going in with old growth, we'll start to blend out that line, and then we'll focus on what needs to be. See, I put too much old growth on that brush. No biggie though. Just get our concealer brush and just go right over it. And that'll clean it right up. There you go. It's like it never happened. Ta-da! Yeah, you see? I should have gone a little bit higher. You notice that on this side, there's not as much space up on here as there is here. So I should have gone a little bit higher up. And I could fix it a little bit by just adding some more of that black up here. Basically just going in again with all the colors, but just a little higher. Amanita right on top, Rainier, and whatever left on the brush for old growth, I'm not going to add any more, just kind of just go right over it. Just like that. I am rushing and I need to stop. I want to do it a little higher, honestly, but I don't know if I'm pushing my luck here. Let me tell you, this has been an experience. I was so nervous. I am nervous now, still, about this video, contemplating if I should even post it. I just feel like I've been all over the place. I don't even know if my camera, I don't even know if my eye was in frame for most of it. I guess we'll see. If I post it, then it wasn't that bad. Alright. I'll go ahead and put on the gold off camera. It's a quick thing. Be back. As for the under eye, I went in with Let It Rain, which is that black color, and I used the other half, the other side of this A19 Morphe by Ariel, Morphe with Ariel, Morphe X Ariel brush. It's just the smudger side, and I just go right underneath it. If you don't have this brush, you could also just use any kind of smudger brush, or even a pencil brush with a pointed tip, not in your eyeball preferably. Next is Amanita. It's pretty much just everything you used in your crease, just underneath your eye. There is a hair, it's a cat hair. And then just go right underneath the black. Go in with Rainier right underneath that. Same brush, I'm using pretty much the same brushes. all the growth, just a little dab in there, go right underneath that. That was the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in Olympic. It also came from the Raw Beauty Christie collab with ColourPop. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on lashes off camera, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, lashes are on and the lips are done. My lashes are from Azarado Cosmetics. The style is Flirt. I do have an affiliate code with them if you'd like to try them out. I really love their lashes. I'll include it in the description box, as well as everything I used, including what's on my face. If you have any questions, or if you just want to say hi, feel free to leave a comment. And you know, thank you so much for watching. This is my first video, so it may have some kinks here and there. Thank you so much for bearing with me, and I hope you have a great day.